Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Ramadan Reminder number 6. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, translation of the meaning, indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, and the great ships which sail through the sea with that which benefits people, and what Allah has sent down from the heavens of rain, giving life thereby to the earth after its lifelessness, and dispersing therein every kind of moving creature, and his directing of the winds and the clouds controlled between the heaven and the earth are signs for a people who use reason. Subhanallah, brothers and sisters, there are many ayats like this in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's appealing to man's aql, man's mind, and commanding him to reflect, to look around, to observe the creation, and to conclude without a shadow of doubt that everything has been created and indeed there is a creator. And at the same time, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rebukes those who take their belief, who take their aqidah based on doubt, based on following conjecture, following their forefathers without true knowledge. And subhanAllah, as Muslims, it's not enough for us to just follow Islam because our parents were Muslims. Islam is not something which we just inherit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands that our belief must be based on conviction, brothers and sisters, and that we arrive at this through the intellect in a decisive manner. And we conclude that indeed there is a creator, and indeed everything around us has been created, and that Islam is the truth. The thing is many of us, we're born Muslims, but subhanAllah, this in itself isn't a golden ticket to Jannah, brothers and sisters. Like everyone else, we must ask ourselves, what was before life? What are we doing here? And what's going to happen after we die? Imagine, you just hit on the head now. You wake up in a room that you don't recognize. Now, subhanAllah, what are the first questions that are going to come into your mind? You're going to think, where am I? Who brought me here? Why am I here? What's the purpose? Where am I going from here? And it doesn't matter if in this room there was plenty of food, there was a PlayStation, there were, the things that we normally do. The reality is that all these things are secondary. The first thing that you'd want to do is answer these questions and find out what's going on. And until we've answered those questions, we will feel an agitation, because this is what's most important at that time. In the same way, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding us, is telling us that we must ask these same questions in this dunya. And subhanAllah, through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's infinite mercy, we see that He's created us with a fitrah, with a natural disposition, that we ask these questions. We question our purpose in life. What was before, what was after, what we're doing here. We do. And just look at the people that embrace Islam, the converts, reverts. When we normally describe them, we describe them as being, on the deen. We see an energy within them, subhanAllah, the faces are glowing with Islam. And the reason is because they've come through the falsehood and they've arrived at the truth for themselves, brothers and sisters. And because of this, we see that many of them, they have to make huge sacrifices. They have to leave their friends, their families, their wealth. And many of them are disowned, kicked out by their families, but subhanAllah, they have a smile on their face. Why? Because they know that all these things are worth sacrificing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the reason is because they found the truth for themselves. Whilst we have the truth, brothers and sisters, but do we appreciate it? Does our behavior reflect that we appreciate this Islam that we have, this Islam that we've been given? Many of us, we do things that we shouldn't be doing, and actually knowing that we shouldn't be doing these things. But why is it that it doesn't deter us from consistently disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we've grown up being told there's a hell, there's a heaven, but it doesn't make an impact? Is because this, for many of us, this is just information. It's something that our parents told us. How many of us have actually thought about this ourselves? And because we've just taken it on board, it doesn't shape our behavior, it doesn't shape our personalities. And that's why, brothers and sisters, as Muslims, we need to be convinced 100% that there is Allah, that the Quran is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there is, a day of judgment, and there is a Jannah, and there is a Jahannam. And we need to know this as a matter of fact. And this is a duty on us all, brothers and sisters, because Allah tells us, Allah commands us that we need to know Allah, and knowing comes through knowledge. So brothers and sisters, to bring this reminder to an end, my final message is that, we should really be convinced of Islam for ourselves. Let's reflect upon this, let's ponder, let's conclude without a shadow of doubt that Islam is the truth, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everything, and that one day we will return to Him. And inshallah ta'ala, this will have a positive impact on our personalities and our behavior. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.